Hey there guys, PortalMaster9351 here, and in today's video I wanted to do a video talking about Lightseekers for the first time in quite a while. Now, the reason, there's a lot of reasons that I haven't done a lot of Lightseekers content in recent history. The last Lightseekers video that I did was an unboxing of Boulder, and yeah, that's pretty much it. There's been nothing else that I've done Lightseekers related because there has not been a lot of relevant information or anything to do with Lightseekers. You know, there has been a couple of updates to the games recently, but I was never that far in my Let's Play anyways, and there was nothing relevant to talk about. And there have been a few minor announcements here and there about things for Lightseekers, but nothing honestly big enough to warrant a video on this channel. So, But there have been a few new things that have occurred within Lightseekers that I did think you guys probably should know about, assuming that you guys don't already. And honestly, this stuff has not been publicized and no one else is talking about it, so I am actually the first person to talk about this, to my knowledge, on YouTube. So let's kind of dive into things. So Lightseekers, as you guys know, had just released Wave 2 back in November. That's when they finally got the Wave 2 figures out. The Wave 2 accessories came out, I can't even remember when at this point, but I know the figures came out back in November. And so, or maybe it was earlier than that, I don't honestly remember when everything came out, but I know the Wave 2 figures came out several months ago. There's been no news since. There's been no news on a Wave 3 for figures or accessories or anything. And it was actually announced that Tomy is no longer in charge of manufacturing the Lightseekers toys and accessories. That was confirmed on the forums that this year PlayFusion was taking an independent approach to the manufacturing and would no longer be going through Tomy as a middleman. So basically they seized control of all of their manufacturing. It does now, the important thing is Tomy does not seem to be the decision maker in this process. It seems like PlayFusion said, okay Tomy, we want you to stop making our figures. It's not like Tomy came up to PlayFusion and was like, look, your product's not selling well enough, you need to, we're not going to do this anymore. I don't know that for sure, but that is at least what it sounds like. So it's not necessarily bad news, and honestly there was a lot of miscommunication between PlayFusion and Tomy in terms of the distribution of the figures, so I honestly don't know that that was a bad move to kind of take control of their own operation. But what was interesting to me was that it was later on announced that the figures and accessories were on hold. Now, that doesn't mean they were canceled, it doesn't mean that they're never going to come out. It just means they're on hold. It just means that they are not the top priority for Lightseekers right now. In case you guys have not noticed, Lightseekers' social media and website now largely deal with the card game rather than the actual video game. Look at this website on the back of my shirt that says lightseekers.com. Yeah, you go to that, it redirects you to the card website. The website that we formerly saw as the homepage of Lightseekers that contained all kinds of information about the figures and the game, that no longer exists. Now on the forums there is still a subsection for the game and stuff like that. But if you actually look at activity on those forums, most of the activity revolves around the card game. And honestly, the forums are still relatively active. They're probably honestly just about as active as the Dark Spyro forums are for Skylanders. They're doing pretty good. It's just it's all focused on the card game. It was also announced that that PlayFusion would be developing a brand new mobile app for the card game to work as a standalone game. So basically, before you could take the Lightseekers cards, you could scan them into your game, and you could get power-ups and stuff like that. But that was all that your cards could do outside of the physical card game. Well, it looks like they are pulling a Skylanders Battlecast, if you will, and they are making their cards fully integratable onto, you know, that platform. But in addition, they will still be able to be played with in real life. So basically, they're developing a mobile app where you can play the Lightseekers card game. If you guys didn't know that, I honestly don't know when that's going to come out. I don't think very many details have been released on that, but it does appear as if a lot of their development team has shifted gears and started working on this mobile app version of the card game. I assume that the mobile game is still being developed, but I can only assume that with a studio as small as PlayFusion, the development team on the game has got to have shrunk in order to be supporting this full-blown mobile app. And one other thing, no new figures have been announced, no new accessories have been announced, but what has been announced is another card game expansion for Lightseekers. Lightseekers Mythic, or Lightseekers Mythical. Can't remember exactly which it is. I'll add the logo right there so you guys can actually see it and know what I'm talking about and stuff like that, and I can't honestly remember, and that's great. The card game for Lightseekers appears to be doing great. Now, I can't really speak on the figure aspect. A lot of people have been saying that they have not been selling well because they go into Toys R Us and they see shelves still full of Lightseekers products, and honestly, that's a terrible way to judge sales, at least from what I can tell. Every single Lightseekers product that I own has been bought on Amazon or sent to me by PlayFusion. Everything I have bought, I bought straight from Amazon. I didn't go to Toys R Us, I bought it from Amazon. And a lot of sales are moving online nowadays, and I imagine a lot of people bought stuff online from Toys R Us. And you know what? That's not true. I did buy some stuff from ToysRUs.com, but I have not bought a single Lightseekers accessory in store, but yet I still own almost everything related to Lightseekers in terms of the toys. So trying to say that, oh, the shelves are still stocked is a terrible way of actually seeing how they've sold. But I think that regardless, what we can tell by this shift in PlayFusion's tactics towards the card game is that they are more heavily supporting the card game, and I assume that means the card game was more successful than the figures, but I honestly don't know. There's another card game expansion that is releasing sometime later in the year. It's going to be announced at a place called Gen Con, which is held every year in August. They announce a lot of cool board and card games there, and they feature a lot of existing board and card games there. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, it appears as if PlayFusion is not focusing on the toys as much or their actual video game and are more focusing on the card game, and that's great. So, kind of, let me tell you a little bit about what I think about this news. This has pretty much just been the news. Let me tell you guys what I'm thinking about this. So, I love Lightseekers. Lightseekers, the toys are a great idea. The shirt is awesome. Like, I love the game. It's pretty sweet. I know I had a Let's Play going, and I don't do the Let's Play anymore. I just think that it was kind of irrelevant at that point. Like, it was like 3 months later, and I still was only on episode 11. It was like never going to get done with the story, so I was just kind of like, eh. So yeah, I could probably start that back up if you guys honestly wanted me to, but I'm honestly not sure if I will at this point, and the main reason for that is that with Lightseekers shifting more towards this card game focus, at least for the time being, I don't really know that I'm qualified to cover Lightseekers. I love card games. I love board games. I love all those kinds of things. Me and my friends, we played the Lightseekers card game. We play other card games as well. I've played almost every card game, and me and my friends all enjoy that. But am I actually qualified to run a channel on card games? Honestly, I'm not, and with this new step of me trying to expand into gaming in general, it would be a very risky move for me to try to do gaming and card games at the same time. That would just be, I think, too broad of an audience to try to appeal to, and so I honestly do not think at this point it is a good idea to cover Lightseekers card game stuff. I just do not think it is. That being said, if there are any new developments for Lightseekers toys, if they ever get taken off hold, production starts back up again, you can be sure that I'm going to be covering that because I love the Lightseekers toys and the Lightseekers game. And I love the Lightseekers card game too, don't get me wrong, I love that. I'm just not qualified to talk about that, and that's why there has not been a ton of videos on my channel about Lightseekers. I'm just not qualified to talk about the card game. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. PlayFusion is seizing control of their production, and whenever these figures get taken off hold, all production will be done straight through PlayFusion rather than through Tomy and their factories over in Asia. So there's that. I don't know if that means they'll be made in Britain. Honestly, don't really care if they're made where they're made, but yeah, Tomy is no longer involved. PlayFusion seized control. Figures are on hold. There's a mobile app in development for Lightseekers where you'll be able to play the card game. Speaking of the card game, there are 2 expansions coming this year. One in March, Lightseekers Mythic or Mythical, whichever one it is. And then there's also going to be a new expansion in August that will be revealed at Gen Con. So, yeah. Also, this is one other thing I forgot to mention. The PC edition that was originally coming. I don't know if it was canceled, but it does appear as if PlayFusion has very much moved that to the back burner, as people that backed to get the PC version have gotten a refund on their Kickstarter. So I imagine that that means that the PC version, if it ever does come, is not coming for a very extensive period of time. I honestly don't know a lot at this point, and I honestly don't think that they've publicized a lot of this information and made it very clear, and that's kind of why I haven't been making videos. But now that I really have enough news to work off of, I figured that I'd make this compendium video so that the past several months of Lightseeker stuff you guys could know. This is just my unbiased reporting and stuff like that. I just want you guys to know about this, because if you're not actively on the forums and stuff like that, you would have no idea that any of this is going on unless you follow their social media, which in that case you would know about the card games, but whatever. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you agree that it's probably not in my best interest to go talk about the card game? I mean, if you guys want me to do that, I will, but at this point, I don't know if I should. I mean, but like I said, if you guys think I should, I will. But like, tell me that down in the comments and what you think about this video and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. This has been Portal Master 9351. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.